Good morning, everyone. My name is Sawsan Dahham. I'm the CEO of SIENA, and we are going to start the day with a very crucial topic, which is lessons learned and concrete actions from fires that happens actually in the GCC area. But let me start by saying that perhaps the most satisfying development I have witnessed throughout my career is the evolvement of fire and life safety field from a secondary concern to a top priority in the GCC countries. This development was possible due to three major reasons. First, we have the visions that the government of those countries were committed to make their countries one of the most advanced, innovative, and safest in the world. Second, we have the growth in construction. Those countries house one of the most prestigious and iconic projects in the world, some of which are even known as landmarks. Third, we have the lessons learned from fire event that allowed the government to adopt proactive approach to safety, empower their civil defense, secure concrete actions, and ensure prevention and protection measures. Let's start with a success story. What could be more challenging than having a fire in the night of New Year Eve where more than 1 million persons were gathered to celebrate and watch the firework? This is exactly what happened in the night of New Year Eve in 2015, when a fire started at the Address Hotel that is located in front of the famous Burj Khalifa and next to the dancing fountain. So what happened in this day? The building is classified as a 63-story high-rise building and a hotel. The fire started because of an electrical short circuit at the facade spotlight located between the 14th and 15th floor. And the spread cause was because of the aluminum composite panel that were used at the facade cladding, noting that the hotel was erected before the UAE guidelines that were issued in 2011. The spread location was due of falling debris and aluminum pieces that led to a fire erupting in several locations. The situation was critical. So what were the outcomes? The report was done at the 21:29 p.m. The team arrived exactly after 1 minute. They had full control at the second day at 8:50 a.m. There were no loss of human lives and only 14 minor injuries that were treated immediately on site. So what was the cause of this success mechanism? First of all, it was the full preparedness. The firefighting teams were fully prepared and trained to attend to a similar event. Second, they were correctly deployed in the strategic location to attend quickly and swiftly with the correct equipment. We should not forget that the staff, the security staff at the Amar Address Hotel were well also trained to assist the firefighter in the evacuation procedure of the people that were resident at the hotel itself. Also, the civil defense were trained to coordinate properly with all other governmental departments to make sure that this fire will be extinguished in the best possible way. Not to forget that the building itself withstood the test of passive fire requirement by not allowing the fire to break through in the entire building and by allowing the people to egress safely through the proper means of egress. Also, the fire protection, the active fire protection, the sprinkler, assisted the firefighter in limiting the spread of the fire. All this was possible because of a wise authority leadership that already have set a plan of prevention and protection in case of similar event that led to a professional intervention and effective extinguishing of the fire that was admired by the entire world and recorded as a huge success story for the Dubai Civil Defense. Unfortunately, the price of success is always too high, and catastrophic events are the main reasons that generate the urgency to change. And this is exactly what happened when a fire started in Villaggio Mall on 28 May 2012. And this was the main triggering point, resulting in drastic changes in Qatar Civil Defense Department, and also a wake-up call for other GCC countries that take every unfortunate event as a new opportunity to learn. So what happened in that day? The building is classified as a mall building. It's a shopping mall. For the shops are from mezzanine, ground and mezzanine only. The fire source, also again, it started because an electrical short circuit in a Nike shop at the mezzanine of the Nike shop, and the spread was due to flammable paints that were around this spotlight. And the spread location, of course, it spread to other retails next to the Nike shop and to the common corridor that you can see in the picture. The situation was very critical. Why? The report time was at 2 minutes after 11 a.m. The team arrived at 5 minutes after 11 a.m. But yet they had the loss of life of 13 children, 4 teachers, and 2 firefighters, and also 17 injuries. The cause of death is asphyxiation. This means that people stayed longer than they should in a location near to the fire. Why? Why this failure mechanism? The investigation report said failure to comply with the laws, regulations, and safety measures. But why is that? As we saw, the firefighters arrived in 3 minutes, and this is like a minimum time. But why we lost all those children? Why we lost firefighters? Because simply, they only knew that there are children trapped inside the mall after 30 minutes of their arrival, when their parents came by and started asking, where are our children? Why is that? Due to missing information. The firefighter didn't know that there are actually a daycare inside the mall. Why? Because the daycare was not licensed in the approved drawing to be used as a daycare. Also, add to this that the security team that were available at the Villaggio Mall, also the people working at the daycare itself, were not trained enough to react in such situations. Also, the Villaggio Mall missed to have a clear emergency plan to combat such situation. There is also a lack of proper access. When the firefighter knew that there are children trapped inside, it was already too late. All the accesses, the normal accesses, were all either destroyed, either blocked. So they have to actually break through the roof of the building to reach and extract the children and the people with those children. And during this attempt, they lost the life of 2 firefighters. Also because the daycare was trapped in what we call a common pass area with 1 exit, and by that time that exit was full of smoke. People, witnesses who were actually in the mall at that day said that they didn't hear the alarm, and the alarm sounded like a doorbell, which means that there were no voice evacuation. There were no one telling them what to do or how to react in this situation. And at the end, the sprinkler was omitted from the Venice lookalike roof. I'm not against performance-based. I personally remove sprinkler from places where sprinkler should be. But performance-based should be done carefully. If we remove a safety factor, we have to put 1, 2, 3 other safety factors to make sure that we are in line with the minimum safety requirement or higher. Due to this event, Qatar government launched a concrete action plan to change. They issued the new QCD guideline that were adopted in 2015. A newer version was adopted in 2021. They also increased with more than 100 professionals working at the Qatar Civil Defense. They were about 22 persons, and they become 120-something persons, skilled officers and professionals. They also had strict implementation of the FLS requirement by creating portals, linking them to the municipalities to make sure that every new design is approved by the civil defense. Every adjustment to a design is approved by a civil defense, and every new permit should be approved by the Qatar Civil Defense. Also, they didn't forget that they need to raise awareness by educating the public. Next, we are going to speak about the fires that happen in buildings that either are under construction or under rehabilitation or renovation. And for that, I chose the example of Haramain Railway Station in Jeddah. This fire happened on 29 September 2019. Okay, so what happened in this day? First of all, the building is classified as high-speed railway station assembly. The fire source started from outside of the building, from the top of the roof, where there were workers working on welding something on top of the roof. Unfortunately, next to those workers, there were leftover materials and garbages that caught fire due to the welding process. And quickly, the fire was spread because the roof is actually built from GRP metal panels. The report time was at 12:35. They had full control of the building after 15 hours. And this is like the damages after the fire itself. They had 11 injuries who was hospitalized, 4 injuries that were treated on site, but the property damage, as you can see, was insane. So why the massive spread? All fire and life safety strategy deal with a fire event that starts from inside the building. But unfortunately, this fire event started from on top of the building. So any fire protection measure that was done for the building to protect a fire source from inside didn't work properly because this fire erupted from outside of the building. Second of all, they had untrained workforce. Before sending workers to do a welding in any building, we need to make sure that we are aligned with the requirement of hot works and welding that is mandated under the NFPA 51B. Also, the site condition didn't help. Having leftovers and garbage on top of the roof where there's still welding works is not the right way to do it. And as I said, the roof material was of a glass reinforced panel, which is limited combustibility. Yes, it is in line with the code, but it didn't take into account that there will be a fire from the outside. So what was the government actions? Many governmental entities were deployed that day. 26 firefighters team came to the rescue. Security aviation personnel, as you can see, also helped in extinguishing this fire. Health officials were deployed on site to assist any injuries, and Jeddah traffic control take control of the road to forbid motorcycles and cars to come nearby the fire site. We need to say that fires that happens in building under renovation not only threaten to lose properties, but they also threaten to lose history. And this is exactly what happened in the famous Notre Dame de Paris church that is 861 years old. This fire happened on 15 April 2019. Another similar fire happened less than a month ago in the Copenhagen Stock Exchange that is 400 years old, and it nearly destroyed the half or most of the building. And this was a sad day for the people there. I happened to be there in the day of the fire because the SFPA was having a conference to speak about the performance base, and the day we arrived, this fire happened. And 3 days after, I passed by the site, and you can see still the smoke smoldering from the site to say how much it was a big and huge fire. This is an urgent call to act for all code officials, building owners, contractors, and civil defense to make sure that NFPA 241 is applied properly to safeguard buildings that are under construction or under rehabilitation. We cannot speak about fire events and lessons learned that happened in the region without mentioning the devastating Beirut port explosion that happened in 4 August 2020. This explosion had lots of lessons to teach to the entire world about how to protect and how to handle hazardous material. But unfortunately, our government, the government of our beloved country, did not learn this lesson. Allow me to end the session with an appreciation post to those heroes who were the first to lose their life in this dramatic event, and to every single firefighter who risked his life every single day to protect ours, maintain our property, and make this world a better place. It is our duty to make their job easier, more efficient, and safer. Thank you, everyone. Any question?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Sawsan, my name is Sajid Raza, you know me, and Terry. One pick from the Villaggio fire. What was the reason for the sprinkler omission in a mall occupancy? Any specific reason for omission?
Yes. Sometimes we have to omit sprinkler in order to preserve the interior design intent. The interior design intent was to have a look-alike sky, like the Venice sky, as you saw from a picture that I put. I deliberately put this picture so the audience can see how was the interior design of the building. So the intent is to preserve the beauty of the interior design. This is why I said, like, we have to choose which is more important, the beauty or the life of the people. It's the life of the people. Again, I am not against performance-based. Performance-based is a very important way to design fire and life safety. But when we design performance-based, we have to design it with caution.
Wonderful, thank you so much. I'm happy that UAE Fire Code does not encourage performance-based design left and right. That's a wonderful thing, what we do here in the UAE, especially referring to that. Thank you, Sawsan, really appreciate it. It was a very important point that why were sprinklers omitted in a mall? And that we saw the cause. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.